chemical agents along with biological agents are more prevalent now within our society, and the threat has increased dramatically, and we have to be appropriately prepared to deal with them.
But this brings that to the forefront, and it makes it a reality and brings forth the idea that this is very well something that the responders community will have to face probably in due time.
And to deal with biological agents, that's top notch. I mean, to me, that's one of the best things about it, is you can actually deal with the agents themselves firsthand.
Bio is a real threat, probably a greater threat than a lot of the other weapons of mass destruction. So the ability to train in a live environment, feel comfortable in your PPE, and really get up to date on all the current surveying technique was something really beneficial.
Training control, this is the agent forward. Be advised, we have 4 vials of anthrax.
Positive what? Anthrax.
Biological materials, probably more than any of the other ones, are the ones that we are sort of most concerned about.
The biologist is working with non-pathogenic anthrax. Right now I'm taking an isolated colony from this plate and streaking it onto this plate so that we can grow anthrax for training.
I had very little knowledge of the biologicals and even to some degree the chemicals prior to this week. Now I've got a lot more information. I'm armed with that information, and I can utilize it in dealing with the public as they come on the property, as we move them through the hospital system.
Ricin. Ricin positive. It is Ricin.
There's very few other places where you can get this sort of level of biological training and actual access to materials and putting them in the test strips and getting the results the way you really would in real life.
I feel more comfortable dealing with that threat now that I have this high level of training. And I can actually take this knowledge that I've gained here and take it back and pass it off to my departments and the other EMS services I work with.
Prior to this, it was just something I had very little knowledge about. Now I'm armed with that information, and it makes me much more comfortable to be working with it, to be around it, to actually be in a room with something like that and know that it's perfectly survivable, it's perfectly doable, it can be controlled, it can be worked with, it can be cleaned up.
This is telling me that it's positive for protein, and I would have to use another test to actually find out what it really is.
There's nowhere else that you really get that exposure to live agents and that actual feeling of being in the real situation.
Gave me some confidence in my abilities to actually deal with a live bio agent should I encounter one in the field, and also the confidence to operate in my PPE and know that I have the skills necessary to actually be able to work in these environments.